Imagine being on the absolute brink of becoming the biggest superstar on Earth, only to lose everything in a ghost town. That is the wild reality for rookie phenom Lightning McQueen, who is main character energy personified. But his sheer arrogance is about to cook his entire career before he even reaches the finish line. Before the biggest race of his life, McQueen is psyching himself up inside a dark trailer. He genuinely thinks he is completely unstoppable, blinded by his own hype. We cut to a packed stadium where 70,000 fans are screaming at the top of their lungs. The commentators are hyped out of their minds because this final race is pure cinema. Three top racers are tied for points, fighting for the ultimate crown, the Piston Cup. You have the king, the beloved veteran who is retiring after this legendary season. Then there is Chick Hicks, the dirty driver who has been low-key bitter forever. Chick thought this was finally his golden moment, but a cocky rookie crashed the party. Lightning McQueen blew up overnight and completely hijacked every single spotlight. It is officially a chaotic showdown between the legend, the villain, and the rookie. Only one racer can take home the trophy and land the lucrative Dinoco deal. Midway through, Chick causes a massive multi-car pileup, sending cars flipping into the air. The announcers think McQueen is totally cooked in the burning smoke. But Lightning pulls off an insane stunt off another car's roof and sails through unbothered. While every smart driver pits for fresh rubber, Lightning arrogantly skips his pit stop. He literally screams at his crew chief because he refuses to take orders from anyone. In fact, this toxic rookie has already fired 3 crew chiefs this season alone. He delusionally believes he is a one-man show who needs zero help. Meanwhile, Chick Hicks gets jammed in pit lane, giving McQueen a huge window. The green flag drops, and McQueen drops the hammer like an absolute speed demon. When he finally stops, he refuses tires and demands splash-and-dash gas to save seconds. His pit crew is utterly disgusted by his reckless disregard for basic safety. Skipping tires builds him a giant lead, but his rubber is literally melting away. With 1 lap left, McQueen is flexing with a massive full lap advantage. Suddenly, disaster strikes as his rear tire explodes into shreds in turn 4. He is violently grinding on his rim while the whole crowd goes completely quiet. Behind him, the king and Chick are zooming in fast like targeted missiles. Lightning literally starts hopping on 3 wheels, desperately dragging his chassis forward. He is agonizingly close, sticking his tongue out to touch the finish line. All 3 cars cross the finish line at the exact same split second. The booth is losing their minds because nobody knows who actually won. It is officially declared the most wild ending in racing history. Out in victory lane, reporters immediately surround the young phenom. Lightning brush off his tire blunder, claiming he did it purely for entertainment value. He flexes for the cameras, double-downing that he does not need a team. Fed up with his massive ego, his entire pit crew quits on live television. Chick Hicks rolls up trash-talking, trying to snatch all the hype for himself. Lightning claps back with a quick zinger, leaving Chick completely unfazed. 2 hyper-fan cars named Mia and Tia flash their bright headlights at him. The king walks over to Lightning and hits him with some serious veteran reality. He warns the rookie that without a trustworthy crew, he will eventually crash and burn. Suddenly, official race judges drop a bomb. It was an exact 3-way tie. A winner-take-all tiebreaker race is set for California in just 7 days. Chick challenges him to get to California first to snatch the Dinoco deal early. Lightning dashes to his transport truck Mac, desperate to hit the highway instantly. But Mac forces him to do an embarrassing meet and greet for his rust ointment sponsor. McQueen secretly despises working with old rusty cars, feeling it ruins his aesthetic. He mocks his core fanbase behind their backs while putting on a fake celebrity smile. He complains non-stop that pitching bumper cream for clunkers is beneath him. His smooth-talking Hollywood agent Harv calls in, praising his massive commercial success. Harv asks who to send VIP tickets to, exposing that Lightning has zero actual friends. Out on the interstate, Lightning aggressively forces Mac to drive straight through the night. Mac is practically pass-out exhausted, but Lightning refuses to let him sleep. While cruising in the dark, a group of reckless tuner cars spots Mac dozing off. They pull up beside Mac and blast soothing music to knock him totally out. A falling object hits the trailer latch, dumping a sleeping McQueen onto the pitch-black highway. Lightning wakes up disoriented in speeding traffic, chasing after the wrong semi-truck. He gets lost, accidentally speeding straight into a forgotten desert town off Route 66. The local police officer mistakes McQueen's backfiring engine for gunshot pops and gives chase. Panicking in the dark, McQueen snags barbed wire and completely wrecks the town main street. He accidentally rips a heavy statue loose, destroying every inch of asphalt in sight. By morning, news breaks nationwide that the celebrity racer has officially vanished. The media goes into total frenzy, wondering if the rookie was stolen or ruined. Meanwhile, McQueen wakes up trapped inside a dusty local impound yard. He panics when he sees a heavy parking boot clamped onto his front tire. He meets a goofy, rusty tow truck named Motter guarding his enclosure. Motter cheerfully explains that he is stuck in the forgotten town of Radiator Springs. McQueen tries to smooth-talk Motter into unlocking him so he can escape. The sheriff rolls up immediately, scolding Motter for chatting with a dangerous lawbreaker. McQueen gets dragged inside a tiny courtroom, surrounded by furious local residents. The angry townsfolk scream at him, demanding pure payback for ruining their road. The stern town judge, Doc Hudson, enters looking ready to lock him up forever. Just when McQueen thinks he got away scot-free, the courtroom door bursts open and a stunning blue Porsche rolls in. McQueen immediately assumes she is his defense lawyer, shifting into full flirt mode without missing a beat. He shoots his iconic headlight spark and tries to hit on her, completely unaware of who she actually is. But this gorgeous car named Sally is not his lawyer at all, and she instantly shuts down his cringe pickup lines. Turns out, Sally is Radiator Springs' fierce town prosecutor, and she is not about to let this hotshot speeder off the hook. Sally aggressively demands that Doc Hudson force McQueen to repair the main street he completely demolished. She turns to the locals and gives a passionate, high-energy speech about the forgotten glory of Route 66. She explains that without a drivable road, zero tourists will visit, leaving the entire town completely cooked. Doc Hudson gets totally persuaded by Sally's argument and officially sentences McQueen to community service. McQueen is forced to hook up to Bessie, a massive, sluggish asphalt paving machine that looks like a literal nightmare. McQueen panics when he learns this tedious paving job is going to take him 5 whole days. Every single minute wasted in this ghost town means his rival Chick Hicks gets closer to stealing the Dinoco sponsorship. Tow Motter hooks him up, but as soon as Doc unclasps the parking boot, McQueen decides to make a run for it. McQueen floors it toward the horizon at top speed, screaming victory as he leaves the town in his dust. But suddenly his engine splutters and dies because the genius locals siphoned all his gas while he was knocked out. McQueen's grand escape plan fails horribly, leaving him helpless in the desert sun without a single drop of fuel. Back in town, a frustrated McQueen tries to explain his celebrity status to the quirky tire store owner, Luigi. But Luigi is a hardcore Italian who literally does not care about NASCAR or McQueen, because he only worships Ferraris. Suddenly, the town's siren blares as 2 lost minivan tourists accidentally stray off the interstate. The desperate business owners instantly jump into main character energy, aggressively pitching their goods to the lost couple. Fillmore offers organic fuel while Sarge tries selling military surplus, totally overwhelming the bewildered tourists. Flo tries pulling them into her V8 cafe, while Sally pitches a cozy stay at her cone-shaped motel. But the husband tourist insists his fancy GPS knows best and refuses to buy anything from the locals. McQueen spots them and desperately yells for help, begging them to call his agent to rescue him. He screams that he is trapped in hillbilly hell, but the tourists just assume he is completely out of his mind and speed off. To make matters worse, news reports reveal that Chick Hicks has already arrived in California to steal all the spotlight. Chick flexes on TV while practicing on the championship track, driving McQueen into absolute mania. Desperate to escape as fast as humanly possible, McQueen decides to rush the road work with extreme speed. Just one single hour later, McQueen claims he is totally finished and demands to be set free immediately. The town gathers around to inspect the road, only to find a terrifying, bumpy nightmare that looks completely ruined. McQueen disrespects the whole town, claiming the trashy road fits their trashy little aesthetic perfectly. Doc Hudson shuts down his attitude instantly, ordering him to scrape off the terrible asphalt and redo everything. McQueen snaps back, boasting that he is a precision race car, not some dirty heavy machinery worker. Doc Hudson slyly challenges McQueen to a one-lap race around a nearby dirt landmark called Willie's Butte. If McQueen wins, he gets to leave immediately, but if Doc wins, McQueen has to pave the road Doc's way. McQueen laughs in Doc's face, thinking this dusty old grandpa car stands absolutely zero chance against a modern racer. The entire town gathers at the dirt track, hyping up what seems like the most unfair race in history. McQueen hypes himself up at the starting line, reciting his legendary catchphrases with high confidence. He refuses any pit stops from Luigi and Guido, arrogant enough to think he can crush this old-timer solo. Luigi drops the flag, and McQueen rockets off the line in a huge cloud of dust, leaving Doc behind. Doc Hudson barely moves from the start line, idling along so slowly it looks like he gave up before starting. Doc casually asks Mater to get his tow cable ready, secretly knowing exactly what is about to go down. As McQueen approaches the big sharp turn on the loose dirt, his slick racing tires completely lose all traction. McQueen understeers horribly, flying straight off the dirt cliff and crashing spectacularly into a massive patch of prickly cacti. Doc Hudson casually rolls up past the crash site, roasting McQueen's awful off-road driving before taking the win. Mater pulls a thoroughly embarrassed and cactus-covered McQueen out of the ditch with his tow cable. McQueen is completely cooked, forced to scrape off his ruined road work and start the entire grueling process from scratch. As McQueen trudges back to paving, the local cars tease his battered look, making him even more bitter. He keeps telling himself he is an elite speed machine, refusing to accept that an old town outsmarted him. Fueled by sheer spite, McQueen hooks back up to Bessie and starts putting actual effort into the pavement. The next morning, the town wakes up and is completely shocked by what McQueen created overnight. The new strip of asphalt is ridiculously smooth, glowing like velvet under the desert sun. Ramon and Sally take a test drive down the sleek street, utterly mesmerized by the flawless quality. Lizzie points out that the brand new road makes the rusty shop buildings look completely run down by comparison. Even Doc Hudson low-key admits to himself that the young hotshot actually turned out a solid piece of work. But when Sheriff notices McQueen missing from the paved strip, he panics, thinking the kid ran away again. Doc explains that McQueen actually ran out of pavement material late at night and went out to the dirt track instead. Out at Willie's Butte, McQueen is obsessively trying to figure out how to drift around that sharp dirt corner without wiping out. He keeps coming in with way too much speed, losing control every single time and spinning out into the dust. Doc Hudson drives out to the overlook alone to secretly watch the young racer struggle with the fundamentals of dirt racing. Doc rolls down to the track and breaks the news that racing on dirt requires a completely different mindset than smooth asphalt. He starts giving McQueen high-level driving physics advice on how to weight transfer and throw the rear end out into a slide. Doc drops a legendary piece of wisdom, telling McQueen that if he is going hard left, he actually needs to turn his will right. McQueen thinks Doc is totally insane or just playing another mind game, mocking the concept of turning right to go left. Dismissing the ancient advice as absolute gibberish, McQueen decides to hit the dirt turn his own way once again. He sarcastically turns his will to the right while making the left turn, but misjudges the throttle completely. His car snaps violently off the edge and plunges right back down into the exact same cactus patch as before. Doc just chuckles as McQueen fumes down in the thorns, completely unable to admit that the old judge knows what he is talking about. Later that evening, Sheriff officially hands off night watch duties over McQueen to tow Motter. Doc instructs Motter to just let McQueen empty his tank if he tries to bolt, knowing he won't get far anyway. Locked up in his outdoor holding area, McQueen stares into the night sky, consumed by anxiety about Chick Hicks taking his spot. Luigi arrives at McQueen's impound area and notices that one of McQueen's tires has lost air pressure. Seeing the gorgeous road McQueen laid down, Luigi finally starts showing the young race car a little bit of respect. Luigi aggressively pitches a tire package deal, desperate to get a real race car outfitted in his shop's inventory. Luigi slashes his prices to an absurd discount, trying anything to get McQueen to put on fresh rubber before his next move. Luigi tries to hit McQueen with a wild high-stakes deal, but the hotshot race car is way too stressed to care. After Red gives McQueen an aggressive surprise car wash, Sally steps up and offers him a cozy room at her motel. McQueen plays it cool like he does not care, but he low-key jumps at the chance to escape the dirty impound lot. Sally explains how the motel was built from traffic cones, dropping some surprisingly cute main character energy. Things get hilarious when McQueen catches a sneaky view of Sally's hidden bumper tattoo, leaving her totally flushed. Before Lightning can even process the awkward moment, Motter rolls up insisting it is time for some late-night chaotic fun. Motter drags McQueen out into the middle of the dark fields for a little chaotic activity called tractor tipping. Motter gives McQueen the rundown on how to sneak up on sleeping tractors, but low-key forgets to warn him about the danger. Just as Lightning realizes he has no idea who Frank is, Motter honks his horn and sends a giant tractor flipping over. The sheer absurd joy of tractor tipping catches Lightning off guard as the sleeping tractors keep rolling onto their backs. Motter is living his absolute best life, laughing hysterically while convincing McQueen to take his turn. Lightning hesitates because he does not even have a built-in horn, but Motter calls him out until he finally tries. Suddenly, a giant terrifying combine harvester named Frank wakes up raging, sending both cars into a panicked sprint. They barely escape Frank's massive spinning blades in a heart-pounding chase through the dark cornfields. Back in town, Motter instantly starts teasing Lightning about his growing crush on Sally. McQueen tries to play it tough and deny everything, but Motter keeps singing taunting romantic songs at him. To prove how cool he is, Motter starts driving full speed completely backwards, terrifying McQueen. Motter hits insane drifting maneuvers in reverse, showing off skills that leave the hotshot rookie utterly speechless. Motter drops a ridiculously deep quote about only needing to know where he has been, not where he is going. Lightning opens up about his ultimate dream of winning the Piston Cup and escaping his cheap current sponsors. Motter asks if he could ever get a ride in a luxury helicopter, and McQueen promises to make it happen for him. Motter warmly declares that McQueen is officially his best friend, touching Lightning's heart in a way he did not expect. Sally catches Lightning outside and admits she heard him promising Motter that helicopter ride. McQueen gets defensive, but Sally checks him to make sure he is not just lying to the sweet tow truck. Before going to sleep, Lightning drops his arrogant guard for a second and genuinely thanks Sally for her kindness. The next morning, Lightning wanders around looking for gas and ends up snooping around Doc's private garage. Inside the dusty shed, McQueen stumbles upon 3 genuine Piston Cup trophies sitting on a shelf. Doc catches him red-handed inside the garage, immediately ordering the city boy to get out. Lightning puts the pieces together and realizes Doc is actually the legendary Fabulous Hudson Hornet. McQueen is completely fanboying, recognizing Doc as the record-breaking icon who dominated the racing world. Doc dismisses all the hype, coldly calling his legendary trophies nothing more than a bunch of empty metal cups. Fillmore suggests some hippie automotive yoga to calm McQueen down after his wild discovery. McQueen runs to the town center trying to tell everyone that Doc is secretly a legendary racing superstar. The locals think Lightning has lost his mind from the desert heat because Doc never drives over 20 miles per hour. Nobody believes the rookie, assuming he is cooked from staring at asphalt in the blazing sun all day. Ramon thinks McQueen just needs a fresh coat of paint to cool his wildly overheating brain. Sally interrupts the chaos and invites McQueen to take a relaxing cruise out into the open country. She brings him to the beautiful Wilwell Motel, an abandoned paradise overlooking the stunning valley. Sally reveals she used to be a high-powered, wealthy attorney in Los Angeles living in the high-stress fast lane. She explains that despite her money, she was never happy until she abandoned California and broke down right here. Sally points to the valley, explaining how 40 years ago the huge interstate highway did not even exist. Back then, cars drove along Route 66 not to save time, but to actually enjoy the magnificent journey. She paints a vivid picture of a bustling, vibrant town full of travelers enjoying life together. Everything changed when the highway bypassed the town completely, cutting off Radiator Springs from the world. McQueen begins to truly understand why this forgotten ghost town means so much to everyone who lives here. Sally holds on to hope that one day Radiator Springs will regain its spot back on the map. Lightning admits that for the first time in his life, slowing down actually felt pretty incredible. As they drive back, Sally playfully tells him to act like they were out causing trouble so nobody gets suspicious. They return to town only to find complete utter chaos as dozens of escaped tractors wander the streets. While helping round up the stray tractors, Lightning hears an engine roaring out in the dirt fields. He follows the sound and catches Doc effortlessly drifting around dirt turns with insane mastery. Doc gets furious at being watched, aggressively telling McQueen that they are nothing alike. McQueen calls out Doc, asking why a living legend would walk away from racing while still at the top of his game. Doc reveals the dark truth: he did not quit, he had a horrific crash in 1954 and was tossed aside. When he recovered, the racing world told him he was history and immediately replaced him with a fresh rookie. Doc keeps his old wrecked picture to remind himself never to trust the selfish world of professional racing again. He admits he never expected that fake, self-centered racing world to follow him all the way to Radiator Springs. Doc brutally challenges Lightning, asking if he has ever cared about anyone other than himself for a single second. Doc stresses that the townspeople look out for each other, and he will not let them rely on someone untrustworthy. The hard-hitting words strike McQueen right in his soul, leaving him speechless in the dust. Lightning bites back, asking Doc why his best friends do not even know his real identity after all these years. Doc coldly shuts down the conversation, demanding McQueen finish the road and leave town forever. The next morning, the town wakes up shocked to find the entire main road flawlessly paved to perfection. Mater sees McQueen gone and assumes his new best friend left without saying goodbye, leaving Red in tears. Mater laments that Lightning had to hurry off to chase his big dreams of winning the Piston Cup championship. Suddenly, McQueen emerges from around the corner, proving he did not abandon them after all. Sheriff offers to give him a high-speed police escort so he can still make it to California in time. To everyone's shock, Lightning turns down the quick exit, declaring he cannot leave the town just yet. McQueen reveals he wants to support the local shops before heading out to his big race. Luigi almost faints from pure excitement when McQueen walks into Casa della Tires asking for a full set. Luigi declares it the absolute single greatest day of his life as he prepares the ultimate setup. Lightning asks for regular Blackwells, but Luigi insists that a superstar race car needs stylish whitewall tires. Luigi hypes up the classy white walls, promising they will make McQueen look like pure royalty. Next, Lightning hits up Fillmore's station, trying out organic fuel and loving how smooth it runs. Fillmore drops another wild conspiracy theory about big oil as McQueen fully embraces the Radiator Springs lifestyle. The entire town of Radiator Springs lights up like prime Vegas, showing Lightning how beautiful this place truly is. McQueen rolling up on Sally with pure main character energy to ask her for a late-night cruise. Out of nowhere, the paparazzi pull up like an invading army and ruin the entire cozy vibe. Reporters are freaking out seeing McQueen dripped out in white walls and Radiator Springs gear. Mac rolls up crying happy tears because he finally found his lost star driver. His agent Harv is blowing up his phone screaming that playtime is over and he needs to get to California right now. Mac forces Lightning into the back of the transport truck before he even gets a chance to say goodbye properly. Sally looks completely heartbroken as McQueen is dragged away back to his old life. Turns out Doc Hudson himself called the media to get Lightning out of their town. Doc claims it is best for everyone, but low-key he just wanted his quiet life back. Cut to the Los Angeles International Speedway, where 200,000 fans are absolutely losing their minds. This is the ultimate three-way tiebreaker race between McQueen, Chick Hicks, and the King. Chick Hicks is out here talking mad trash as usual, hyping himself up for the crowd. Inside his head, McQueen tries to do his usual speed mental prep, but his heart just is not in it. The announcers are baffled seeing Lightning show up wearing white wall tires from a ghost town. Nobody understands why the hotshot rookie looks completely distracted on the track. The green flag drops and the championship tiebreaker is officially underway. Chick plays dirty right away, aggressively cutting off McQueen to protect his position. McQueen completely loses focus and spins out into the dirt, falling massively behind. Just as Lightning is about to give up mentally, a familiar voice pops up over his radio. McQueen looks over to his pit crew lane and gets the shock of his life. The entire Radiator Springs gang is standing right there in full pit crew gear. And sitting at the chief stand is none other than the legendary fabulous Hudson Hornet himself. Mater is hype off his mind screaming that they are officially back in business. Guido and Luigi are ready to show these corporate crews how real tire changes get done. Doc gives McQueen the ultimate pep talk to help him lock back into the race. The stadium crowd goes wild when they spot Doc Hudson back in the pit row after 50 years. The commentators are losing their minds because seeing Doc back is actual racing history. Nobody expected the old legend to ever step foot on a racetrack again. McQueen turns on the jets and starts ripping through laps to close a massive gap. The rival pit crews try to talk down to Guido, not knowing he is about to cook them. Doc tells Guido to stay calm and wait for the perfect moment. Chick tries to sideswipe McQueen again, forcing him off onto the infield grass. McQueen pulls out Doc's dirt track slide technique to whip right back onto the pavement flawlessly. With 10 laps to go, all three cars are neck and neck in an absolute nail-biter. Disaster strikes when Chick clips McQueen's tire, causing a blowout under caution. If McQueen does not get back out instantly, he will lose a lap and be cooked. Doc calls up Guido for the ultimate high-stakes pit stop moment. Guido single-handedly swaps all four tires in under 4 seconds flat, leaving everyone speechless. McQueen burns rubber out of the pits, just barely beating the pace car to stay on the lead lap. They enter the final lap of the race with the crowd screaming at maximum volume. 199 laps come down to 4 final turns. Doc tells McQueen to drive it deep into turn 4 and let it rip. Lightning dives to the inside track, pulling ahead of both Chick and the King. Chick tries to spin McQueen out, but McQueen uses his dirt training to jump the grass and take the lead. Lightning is literally inches away from crossing the finish line and winning the entire Piston Cup. The win is guaranteed, but suddenly Chick Hicks pulls the dirtiest move in racing history. Chick violently rams into the king from behind, sending the veteran into a horrifying rollover crash. McQueen sees the wreck in the big screen, slams on his brakes, and stops right before the finish line. Chick crosses the line first to win, but McQueen reverses back to push the battered king over the finish line. The entire stadium falls completely silent as Lightning sacrifices his lifetime dream for sportsmanship. McQueen quotes Doc, realizing that a trophy means nothing if you lose your soul obtaining it. He pushes the king across so the old legend can finish his final race on his own terms. The crowd starts cheering at the top of their lungs for McQueen's heroic act of respect. Chick Hicks gets handed the Piston Cup trophy, but the crowd aggressively boos him off the stage. Chick realizes nobody respects his fake victory and he is pelted with trash on podium. The king and his wife thank Lightning from the bottom of their hearts. Tex Dinoco walks right up to McQueen and tells him that was true championship heart. Tex offers McQueen the Mega Dinoco sponsorship deal right on the spot. He tells Lightning that being a champion is about way more than just taking home a trophy. McQueen looks at the Rust-eze guys who believed in him when he was a nobody. He respectfully declines Dinoco to stay loyal to his Rust-eze family forever. McQueen asks Tex for just one small favor, letting Mata ride in the official Dinoco helicopter. Word gets out about Radiator Springs, and business starts booming like never before. An actual Ferrari pulls up to Luigi's tire shop, causing Luigi to literally faint on the floor. Luigi's lifetime dream comes true in the most legendary way possible. Lightning officially announces he is moving his permanent racing headquarters right to Radiator Springs. McQueen and Sally line up on the ridge, finally getting to take their peaceful drive together. During the end credits, Mac watches car parodies of Pixar movies and realizes one actor voices everyone. He complains about cut-rate productions, wrapping up the absolute masterpiece ending of Pixar's Cars. And that is how Lightning McQueen went from an arrogant rookie to a true GOAT with ultimate respect. If you love this full detailed breakdown of Pixar's Cars, hit that like button right now. Subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so you never miss another high-octane movie recap. Drop a comment down below telling me your absolute favorite Radiator Springs character. Thanks for watching, squad, and I will catch you all in the next recap.